Folks, this is our Peel and Durham show for week ending July 23rd, 2025. I'm going to talk to you about something that terrifies actually most buyers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. I have worked with many buyers, have been part of many home inspections. And I can tell you, when the home inspector pops his head in the attic and then comes down and says, there's mold in the attic, even before the home inspector says there's this much mold or there's this much mold, just the word mold terrifies most buyers. Many times, whatever the home inspector says after that, the buyer's not paying attention. They're already thinking, it's too bad we can't buy this house. There's mold. But I'm telling you, I'm not telling you you've got to love mold. I've been to a lot of these situations. There is a solution. Mold remediation, just saying, is not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Most situations that I've been involved with where there's mold in the attic, and that's specifically the mold I'm speaking about, because there is other types of mold throughout the home, and I don't want to get into that. Just strictly attic mold. And I want to go on further to say, I'm not talking about if there's structural damage. As long as the roof structurally is still good and it's just surface mold in the attic, there is remediation. And it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I find that it's between $2,000 to $5,000 to remediate the mold so there's no issues with the mold. And then the next part of that solution is improving the ventilation in the attic so the mold doesn't come back. And that's also not expensive to do. So there is a solution. But buyers, they freak out when they hear the word mold, and it's justified. I mean, there's so many health risks that I don't need to get into with you. I'm sure you know, but there are solutions. And I'm saying, if you're a buyer and that's the house that you love and the house you want to buy, mold does not need to be, attic mold does not need to be the obstacle that causes you to back out, unless it's absolutely something you don't want to deal with. Now, if you're the seller, you should be on the market knowing there's a good chance you're going to receive an offer that includes a home inspection. And if the home inspector is doing their job, you know they're going to stick their head up in the attic and they're going to discover mold. Well, if you know this, why not, before you go on the market, get that looked at? I'm not saying you have to do a whole home inspection, although it's something to consider, but at the very least, get a professional to look in your attic and let you know if there's mold there. If there is, you can deal with it up front so it doesn't come out when there's a home inspection later. Because I can also tell you from my personal experience working with buyers and sellers where attic mold is discovered, it's a surprise to the buyer, but it's also a surprise to the seller. So deal with it up front, get it looked at. Many homes have attic mold. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody if attic mold is discovered, but it's one of those things that could instantly kill the deal. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And the numbers, well, we're passing on the numbers this week. We're not bringing them to you, but we will be back with the numbers next week. Have a great day.